Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the Tarot Collective for today. Today is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. You may follow me on the Attack the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We want that for you always. Whatever does not, just leave it on the table for someone else. You do not need to take on energy that was not meant for you. Nobody wants that for you. I don't want that for you. I've been there. I've done that. It's not great. Intuitive City Oracle. You can find this at intuitiveintention.com. My Intuitive Intention on Etsy. TikTok shop. Rob Berthelman. He's a genius. And he didn't pay me to say that. I say that of my own free will because I think he's a genius. I hope everybody had a good Tuesday, is still having a good Tuesday. You got one on the table. We got three on the table. Four on the table. Six on the table. Six on the table, one major arcana card. Two more shuffles. I went for a walk after work. I don't know how long it is, because every time I start my damn watch to like keep track of how long I go, it will stop. Like it will just stop. And I'm like, you need to record the walk. Like record the freaking walk. So I got to look it up online and see how many miles the actual preserve is, and then figure out how many miles I'm doing every day. I want to say like maybe 2, maybe around there. But that Apple Watch, man, it's a real pisser. Okay, one more shuffle. 7 on the table. Cards are literally just falling off the deck. Like I don't know what that is. Oh, hold on. Let me do this. Okay. Oh, would you look at that? We got 8 with bottom of the deck. We've got 1 major arcana. And this is bottom of the deck. Go figure. Yeah. With the world, no less. Oh, you don't say. Look at top of the deck. 10 of Cups and Strength. All right. I feel like this reading is going to take me like 10 seconds. We got 8 of Wands. 3 of Cups. 4 of Wands. Okay, my desk is like sticky or something because none of the cards want to pull off the desk. 3 of Swords. We've got Justice. I always just want to call it karma. But justice isn't always karma. Karma isn't always justice. I'm just saying. We got 7 of Wands. 2 of Pentacles. In bottom of the deck, 6 of Wands. Oh. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. So when the 8 of Wands, the 3 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands fall out, of the deck, I just heard celebrating with friends. I think whoever is going to be celebrating life, celebrating with friends, hanging out with friends, having a good time is somebody that has recently gotten over some type of down cycle. Heartbreak, sure, but just like heartbreak doesn't necessarily have to be love, you know? Heartbreak could be like your heart's breaking because you lost a pet. Your heart's breaking because you can't pay your rent. Your heart's breaking because your car was repoed. I mean, just there's a million things, right? With the Three of Swords. It's like somebody went through something and now they're going to be celebrating life. And this is some type of justice. This is divinely given. And this is with the Seven of Wands, like this is God, somebody's angel, somebody's ancestors, somebody's divinely or dearly departed loved ones. I was going to say divinely departed loved ones. Dearly departed loved ones, as you know, I like to call them. With the Seven of Wands, like they made sure this happened. Happened, I should say. They made sure. Like this was justice, yes, but like this was meant for this person. Sometimes when I look at the justice card and I think about like justice, sometimes you got to look at it like from a grander scale. Like, is it like justice for one person should really be justice for the world? Just saying. If it doesn't bring anything else to the collective, you know what I mean? Like, let's say I get like $1,000 refund check tomorrow from something or other, and I take that $1,000 and I mean, I don't know, I buy jumpsuits with it or something. How is that helping the collective? I mean, yeah, it makes me happy, so I'm going to be happy and I'm going to put that energy out there. But, eh, eh. It's kind of funny too, because I've talked about this in the past, and I think I talked about it a couple days ago. Like, if I were ever to come into a large sum of money, I would probably more than likely depending on how much it is, but more than likely give half of it away to charity, to my favorite charities, to my favorite non-for-profits, you know? Give something back. Fill the food pantries with food in Lake County, Illinois, you know? Like I would do something. I could never just like, get a large sum of money and just, oh, it's all for me. It's just for me. And there's nothing wrong with being a giving person and getting $1,000 and realizing you need to spend it on yourself, you need to pay a bill, whatever the case. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just later on when you do have the money, throw a couple bucks to a charity, to your community. It's not going to kill you, you know I mean, like at Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas, when the guys stand out for, what is it, the Salvation Army or something, and they stand out there with the bells, the buckets, and they ask for donations. Like, put $5 in there, put $10 in there. Is that going to kill you? It's one less Starbucks, right? I'm only saying this because for some reason when I'm looking at the Justice card today, and And I'm sure I've said something similar, but I've never read it like this. Like this individual is in front of the masses, right? The masses. Like, how is justice going to be justice for the masses? And it's kind of funny because I I play the lottery every week without fail. And I always say, if I win a big jackpot, obviously that I personally I would probably do the lump sum up front, I guess, is what my thought process always was. Um, they usually take about half, 40%, something like that for taxes. I mean, I probably would. Let's say I win $100 million, right? And let's say they take away 50 for taxes, and I get $50 million. What do I need with $50 million? I think 5 years ago, 3 years ago, the average cost for one person to retire comfortably, okay, comfortably, was like $5 million. And I'm assuming when they say comfortably, like you can afford your health care, you can afford to pay your bills, you can afford to go on vacation maybe once a year, like that kind of thing. You can afford with inflation, right? Because things are only going to get more expensive as people get older. You got to figure $50 million. What do you need with $50 million? I would just donate it. I would donate it. Donate it, write it off, right off the bat. There you go. 25 million bucks. Enjoy, have fun. I'd pay off my condo. I'd probably buy I'd probably buy a little house somewhere up north, Wisconsin, a nice piece of land, build my farm, take in my strays, adopt a couple kids, and just live the rest of my life in peace, you know? Like that sounds like the dream to me. How is that not everybody's dream? Why do people think like, oh, when I win the lotto, I'm gonna buy that, $80 million mansion? What do you need that for? Like, and don't get me wrong, like it would be cool to flex and be like, yeah, I can afford that $20 million house. Here you go. But at the end of the day, am I really like, how long am I gonna want to live there? And if I try to sell it, how long is it gonna take me to sell that? I'm just saying, it's not worth it. Buying a fancy ass mansion, buying 10 Rolls Royces. Like, what do you need that shit for? You want a Mustang, go buy a Mustang, but you don't need 10 of them, Like, it's just, I, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'd rather know that I have the money to live the rest of my life and not have to work and do whatever the hell I want to do and be whoever I want to be. Do you know how amazing it would be not to have to get up and go to work 4 days a week? And yeah, I just said 4 days a week. I realize people work more than that. I'm just saying how nice it would be to get up and not have to go to work and be able to do my YouTube and not have to worry about what time I have to do it, if it's going to fit into my day, because I love doing this. And I don't care if I get paid or not to do this. I would do this every day for the rest of my life, all day. I just would. I mean, technically, I do now. Affirmations in the morning, readings in the evening. I mean, really, what's the difference? I had this dream of buying like a little motorhome, a little Winnebago, something like that, and driving around the country and doing free readings for people and just meeting people, just reaching out to people and talking to people and hugging people and smiling at people and just getting the energy out there, like getting some positive vibes out there. This is a dream of mine, not gonna lie. I always thought that my knight in shining armor, my soulmate, whatever you want to call them, would be the one driving. And I would be the one in the passenger seat holding the cat or holding the dog with my feet up on the dash and being like, no, you're supposed to go that way. Hello. I'm not really good at I'm good at directions when I'm paying attention, but when I'm not paying attention, like that's it. It all falls apart. Whatever this justice is, whatever this person is celebrating with family, friends, it was meant to be with the Seven of Wands. It's like it's like God can say with conviction that this person deserves this. This is to bring balance with the Two of Pentacles. It's to bring balance back to this person's life. I, I'm not. I'm just gonna say this. It's no person's place to judge on whether somebody is deserving of a divine gift or not. You know, do we all have our own thoughts on that? Of course we do. You see somebody win the lotto for example, and you're like, that person won the lotto? Like, how come that person won the lotto? You don't know who that person is. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know, and just like karma, just like justice, I mean, that's for God to decide. That's not for anybody else to decide, you know? Like, just because I may not like a person or I may not get along with a person doesn't mean that that person isn't deserving of some type of divine gift for whatever reason, you know? I think when I'll just say it like this. I just bought a hoodie off of Amazon. It came last week. I had to return the original and order another one because the original was supposed to be a 2X and it came in a 2X bag, but the hoodie on the inside was an actual small, which, believe it or not, I did put it on and it somewhat sort of kind of fit. I looked like a sausage casing, or a sausage in a casing, I guess you could say. But the thing is it says blessed on it. It's yellow, it says blessed. And I think sometimes when you put that kind of energy out there, I'm not going to lie, I feel like a lot of people really look negatively on that. Like, what is that? Now, I think that I'm blessed. I've been thinking that for a long time. For a long time. 3 years, almost 3 years now. 3-year anniversary September 16th. I know I'm blessed. I know I'm lucky to have led the life that I've lived. Led the life that I've lived the life that I've lived. Whatever. Whatever. Logistics. And it's not luck either, right? I don't believe in luck. It's God's gift. And whatever else He has in store for me, He has in store for me. I have no idea, you know? Well, I have some idea, but not on everything. And it's not for anybody to judge that, you know? Like if I think I'm blessed, I'm blessed. If you think you're blessed, you're blessed. Like I feel like between this balance, whoever's finding balance, there's a lot of judgment there. And that's why I'm saying this. And I think most of us find that to be true in real life, that there's some type of judgment. Because when you say that you're blessed, oftentimes people will be like, "Oh, and I'm not." Honey, nobody said that. I'm saying I'm blessed. I feel blessed. God makes me feel blessed every day. Does he make you feel blessed? Then awesome. You're blessed. I think some people like take things the wrong way and look at things the wrong way. And it stems from a place of unhealing, right? Like they're not healing. I just felt the need to mention it because oftentimes in the background, while really good things are happening to people, there are other people in the background just talking up a bunch of shit, you know? Because people just can't mind their own business. Or if you're jealous or envious, then go out there and earn your justice. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like I have friends, multiple friends, people that I used to be friends with that I'm no longer friends with, that would say all the time, like, oh, I don't understand why this bad stuff always happens to me. And it's like, I don't have any money and I got bills and, you know, something breaks down and this, that, and the other. And it's like when you constantly see your life in upheaval and chaos, that's kind of the justice. That's kind of the karma. Because whatever you did, you brought it on yourself, and that's it. Like, that's what you're supposed to be given at that moment in time. And it's not nice, you know, when you do crazy shit or you're not a nice person and whatever the case may be, and you get that bad karma. Like, that's not cool, you know? I don't want that for me. I don't want that for anybody else. But it always just kind of makes me laugh when I hear people say that. Like, "Oh, I don't understand why this is happening to me." Don't you? Don't you? How do you not understand, that you did a toxic thing or you were karmic for 1 second in time? That's your karma, you know? I don't know. And I've been talking about this for what, like the last 3 months, 4 months? I don't know. Accountability. People are just out there running around taking no accountability for their actions. Like you don't care. Like it's a free for all. I was I was in picking today and a bunch of my friends were down there. Four. I was surrounded by four of my friends. And the guy that I'm in love with in our department was all the way at the end. And he talks with my friends, like I'm not going to tell them not to talk to him. I'm not going to do that to him. And they wouldn't do that anyway. And you know what I mean? Like I don't expect that of them. They wouldn't do. Let people be friends with who they're going to be friends with. It doesn't bother me. But it was funny because I went on first break with my friend that I'm friends with outside of work, and he's at the table next to us with some of the other ladies, some of the older ladies, and she turns to me and she goes, "Did you talk to him, or has he talked to you?" Or she's like trying to be like nonchalant about it, but she's really not coming off that way. And he literally looked at us she's trying to talk, and I looked at him, and then he looked away, and I was like, oh God, like why is this happening? So I just said no, and I kind of left it at that. But later on, when we were upstairs and picking, I texted her and I said, she was like 2 stations down from me, 3 stations down from me. I said to her, I said, and I told you guys this before. I said, I sent him, I wrote him the letter. She gave him the letter. He read the letter, didn't read the letter. I don't know. But he never reached out to me. He didn't want to answer my question. He doesn't want to talk. And I said to her, I said, no answer is an answer. I said, I haven't talked to him and he hasn't talked to me. And I said, the only time we did talk was last week. He was filling boxes on everybody's carts, and I thanked him for filling my boxes, and he said, you're welcome. And that was it. And I'm perfectly fine with that the way it is. And I just said to her, I said, I'm not gonna invade his space like that. I'm not gonna get up in his grill. I'm not gonna get confrontational. Like I opened the door for some type of communication. He doesn't want to communicate. I am not gonna force that on him. And it's kind of funny because last night I was watching one of my favorite readers, and he was talking about, I don't know which one it was, Gemini or Virgo. Those are the signs that I watch because I'm a Gemini Virgo rising. Sometimes I'll watch Aries because I'm an Aries moon. The reader said, like, oh, this person has their boundaries. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to reach out to you. They don't want you to reach out to them. Like, they're sticking to their boundaries. And I literally looked up and I said, see, I said, you're not a human. You don't understand. But yeah, like, it's not whatever was going on there today. He was over there picking, I was picking, like, and it's not that I'm trying to like ignore him to be mean or anything like that. I just feel like I should be able to get on with my life, and he should be able to get on with his. And again, I opened the door. He didn't walk through it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know what else to say about it. The funny thing is about that is I've watched other readings from some of my other favorite readers, and they've all said like, "Oh, they're going to communicate. They're going to communicate." And I'm sitting there and I'm like, "No, they're not. He's not. He's not. He's no, he's not." Like he's had like 5, 6 weeks to say something. He hasn't said anything. He's not going to say anything, and that's fine. But my whole point is the whole situation with him and I, like the way that I look at it, like like to me we were karmic to each other. Like he probably looks at me as toxic, I look at him as toxic. But the funny thing is I'm wise enough to recognize my role in that situation. I'm wise enough to recognize that I played a toxic part in that situation. I take accountability for that. You want to give me karma for that. Give me karma for that. I expect to get it at some point, right? Like, you know, I know. I know. Now, him, my friend, I don't know what they believe. I don't know if they just believe, like, oh, I'm innocent. I didn't play a role in anything. I didn't do anything. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't know. Because I took myself out of the situation. But whether you admit to your level of toxicity, your level of toxicity in a situation, God sees it. God sees everything. God's going to dole out that karma, based on what he sees. Like I said, it's not really anyone's place to say, oh, you don't deserve good karma, or you only deserve bad karma, or whatever. That's not for 6 of Wands, bottom of the deck. Whatever is meant for this person is meant for this person. Whatever they're celebrating with family and friends, that was always supposed to be theirs. It's not for anybody to question any of that. You know, you don't know what's going on in somebody's life behind the scenes. And it's kind of funny too, because the guy at work, I just want the best for him. You know, him and I had a lot of really good conversations when we were talking. Like, I mean, that's why, like, I formed an attachment for him, you know, and I thought him for me. We had some really great conversations. I know a lot about him personally, you know. I just want the best for him, you know. Like, yeah, that's it. And that's really all anybody should say about anybody, you know. You guys know I talk about the lady that I was friends with in the department, the blonde, as I sometimes refer to her as. I think I called her what, the mean blonde or the crazy blonde the other day. She's getting more and more like every time I look at her at work, she looks more and more angry to me. I just don't understand. I don't understand what's going on with her, but it's kind of funny because I talked about her with my other friend because she's friends with her too. She's still friends with her. And I said to her, I said, you know, I'm always going to love her. I'm always going to want the best for her. I said, I just don't feel the need to be around that. She's always angry. She's always jealous. She's always envious. She talks about people behind their backs. You know, like it's not a good energy to be in. And she never seems to have anything positive to say. And even if she says something positive to you, like 10 minutes later, it's like she's throwing out something negative to try and like counteract that positive. It's like demons on double time or something. I don't know. But I I, I really wish she would get her act together and start healing because I think if she was healing, I think if she got her shit together, I think she'd be a pretty fucking amazing human being. Not gonna lie. Because even though I don't want to hang out with her, even though I don't want to have anything to do with her, she's probably still a pretty freaking amazing human being being toxic, honestly. And I know for some of you are probably going to think like that doesn't make sense. It does. It makes sense. You can be toxic and still have an underlying goodness to you, you know? You know, and I know her background story. I know what she's been through in her life, you know? She's been through crazy shit, just like I have, just like you have, you know? If she would put in the effort, I think her life would get a hell of a lot better. And it's sad because, you know, while she's out there hating and being angry and gossiping and whatever else, like I'm out here trying to like raise the vibration and be nice and good and caring and be the human that everyone should be, right? It breaks my heart that everybody doesn't feel the same. I don't know. I'm going to leave it there because I've prattled on long enough. I've talked more about life in general than I have about the cards. Um, but I hope it resonated for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. And I hope you all have a great day and or evening wherever you are. Talk to you later. Bye.